Hello everybody, and welcome back to another World of Tanks video. Today we are going to take a look at a replay of yours truly, and we are going to take a look at, more particular, the T28E-F30, or as I will be calling it for the duration of this video, the T28 Premium. The reason I'm calling it that is because it's basically a T28 but a premium version of it. Well, what makes this tank different than the T28? It's infinitely better in my opinion, but let me elaborate that a little bit more. This tank is a little bit slower than the normal T28, and I believe its soft stats are also a bit worse. But for that little trade-off, it gets one hell of a gun, the KV-1 gun to be more precise. And the KV-1 gun is a powerful gun at tier 5, let alone at tier 4. Now it does get a little bit of a nerf, the aim time is a little bit longer and the reload time is a little bit longer, but this is all quite marginal. It's not really a significant amount for the actual use of the tank. At tier 4 this thing is an absolute beast, and also it makes a fair bit of money for a tier 4 tank. Now that tier 2 with that M2 medium there is a very lucky M2. And there you saw what this gun does. Now 173 is a bit of a high roll for this tank. Normally it does 160, that's the usual amount. But for all things considered, this is not an unpleasant amount of damage done. Okay, now you see me here positioning myself at the 2-3 line. Now I know I've got enough view range to spot whatever comes through that past these arcs, and I would like to be a bit more back so I can respond to situations such as this one here. Type 95 has been able to get all the way into the base, and also this, what is it, this little medium tank, or medium, this light tank, Czechoslovakian light tank here. STVZ39. I'm going to call it the 39 from now on. Makes my life easier. I'm all for making my life easy. Now that's a hopeless shot, so I don't take it. I decide to go root out this little light tank. There's a Lux also, and there's also this, I think it's a light tank. Now I get bumped, and because I get bumped, well, eventually I'm able to take the shot, but it's lucky that one hit, I have to be honest. Now this AMX is a bit of a problem. He's shown that he's able to penetrate me, so I'm going to take aim and shoot whenever I can. Unfortunately I misjudged his position. I thought he was behind the building, instead he's actually in front of the building, so my shot misses. Get unlucky with my shot there. That shot goes exactly where I aim it. I turn my tank to face the Lux, which has a rather nasty pop gun on it. Luckily so far he's not been able to pen, and it looks like he doesn't actually have the top gun. Nope, that's a stock Lux by the looks of it. That's the Panzer 1C gun. I was already wondering why he was bouncing off my side armor. Normally the Lux gun is more than capable of penetrating the side of the tank. Lux made its way around, but he's not going to live very long, not facing off from a Delta anyway. If you play the Lux stock, it really is a pain in the ass to play. Sure, it's quite quick, but short of the speed, it's really not that amazing of a tank. Oh, here we have a very nice tank. This French tank here. Not really sure how I would classify it, but to be honest, not a lot of armor, not an enormously great gun. Well, good enough to pen me twice, but I'm going to get in before he gets me. That's the important part. And now comes the M8A1. Whom I get to kill before before he has an opportunity to hit me. Now I'm going to try and make my way towards these racks, and then I spot the VK2001D, and from this range I'm quite confident I can bounce his shot, so I'm going to take my my time to aim the shot, fire the first shot, he will bounce from me, angle my tank a little bit better. He hits my tank but does no damage, he detracks me. And I kill him with the second shot, and his shot flies high. Now I'm very aware that there's still artillery in the game, and I'm also very aware that at any point in time I can get killed. So right now I've done over 1500 damage, and all that is left on the enemy team is artillery. So I decide it's time to go artillery hunting. And as this artillery does not really have a lot of armor, and as this high explosive on this tank is actually very good, just like the KV2, or KV2. KV2 has very nice high explosive as well, but I'm talking about KV1. 280 alpha damage and 43 penetration. Can you imagine this kind of ammunition? I could probably have used a little bit more of this ammunition in the duration of this match, but I find high explosive is very random whether or not you do well with it. Sometimes it just pens and does a metric arson of damage, but sometimes for some reason it doesn't pen a shot it should and it costs you your life. So all in all, I'm not a great fan of excessive use of high explosive in tanks like these. But in this situation versus artillery who have paper for armor, it really does work. At least at these tiers. Now one thing I am noticing is that in this tank I rarely have a bad game. I've not had it for very long, but I've already had a very large amount of ace tankers, and in general I do very well with this tank. And to be honest, it's a tad overpowered, at least it is so far. But I'll continue talking in the post-game stats. Now quite obviously this was an ace tanker match, but as I was saying, I think this tank is a bit overpowered, or at least maybe it's me. Maybe tier 4 has become a bit too easy for me or something. But I'm noticing that in this tank I just rarely have a bad game. Now this is by far the best game I had so far. I mean, I got a top gun, a high caliber, and if this were a tier 5 tank it would have been a Radley Walters as well, but obviously you don't get that medal at tier 4. Now you can see I did 1923 damage. I thought it was 2000 damage, so suppose this is a bit wrong labeling of me. I'll be sure to correct that for the title of the video, of course. 1300 base experience and a metric arse ton of medals and ribbons, etc. Now as you can see I fire 19 shots, of which 15 hit. Now this is very nice considering the accuracy of this gun, and I had to take a few snapshots as well, so I suppose I should be happy. 15 penetrated, which is exactly what I would expect from a tier 4 match in this tank. Did 1923 damage, and apparently I was able to do a grand total of 2 assistance damage to my team, which is of course quite shocking. As far as credits received, for a tier 4 tank, 30,000 is actually quite huge, even considering this was a very nice match for me. And together with a premium bonus and my daily double, I was able to get over 3,000 experience out of this match as well, which is very nice, which goes to my training of my T28 crew. Now I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'm going to try to record a little bit more, but you won't be seeing that until a few days after, probably. Going to record a bunch now because now I have a little bit of time, and that will be the last time I have for quite a while. So if there aren't any videos in the upcoming days, please have a little mercy, so to say. I'm very busy still with a whole lot of things in private life. So yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.